this electrification deal is just has me, I'm a geopolitical guy. I've been in politics my whole life. I've been to DC so many times I couldn't tell you. Guys wanting to electrify our system. Well, I'm here to tell you that we don't mine one of the precious metals it takes to make a battery in North America. Most of the critical components come from China and Russia. And then China bought the cobalt mine down in Africa. And so they got to dig up 340,000 yards of earth for every single battery from around the world and ship it someplace, have a process and ship it and put it into a battery and then ship it to put it in a car. And the carbon footprint of an electric car not only is ridiculous, you can't look at it. And then you got hazardous waste in 6 years. I mean, and what are you going to do? And how are you going to make all these batteries? There ain't no way. Jake and I, every time they come out with a new model, I got to buy a different plug-in charger. Right now, there's 14 different charging plugs for all these electric cars, and they plan on coming out with 50 or 100 more. Like, how many chargers are you going to have to carry around? Or it makes no sense to me. I don't. They're trying to ram it down our throat, but you're going to have our transportation system at the mercy of China and Russia. I mean, why don't they go fuel cell, or why don't they go natural gas? Or, I mean, there's so many ways to fix the situation without doing something as drastic as changing the entire fleet. I mean, California, they want you to drive an electric car, but you cannot get a permit to put a charging station in your garage. So what the hell?
Yeah, but it's funny you said that. We actually
makes no sense.
Two of my team members are actually at a California dealer now, and they're a little independent store, but she wants to become the she actually wants to become the premier EV dealership for her community, but she can't do it without those charging stations. And then you got to decide, like, which ones do you go with? It's funny, the government will regulate like the height of doorknobs on doors, right? Like that's uniform. It's so interesting that they're not taking that same approach with the EV chargers. I couldn't agree more. I think it's a business. It's not a scalable situation at all right now, and it's definitely a disaster. So it'll be interesting. What do you think?
Well, you would have thought they'd have learned from the cell phones, right? We came out with cell phones. How many different goddamn chargers are there for cell phones? Well, right now there's, I think, 11 or 14 different chargers for electric cars. Okay, so you're going to build charging stations across the road. You're going to build 14 of every single, it doesn't, I don't know how these people come up with this crap, to be honest with you. I really don't. It's amazing. I don't get it.
So keep your Nostradamus hat on for me for just a moment, because this is great. It's interesting hearing your perspective. A lot of people that we interview for our webcast, Matt, are kind of like, oh yeah, the changeover is going to happen and we'll adapt and we'll sell EVs. I'm hearing some, do you feel like it's even possible for this changeover to occur?
There is no way. Take Oregon, for instance. We have the largest lithium deposit in North America on the border of Oregon and Nevada, which is why Musk built that battery plant down there. Mm-hmm. So Oregon's green, tree hugger, electric. And so they go, okay, we need to build this lithium mine. Well, they're going to tear down an entire mountain range to do it. I mean, like, you don't just go get precious metals. They're not on the surface. You don't plant a goddamn seed and have it grow up, right? Like, you have to dig down a mile to get to it, right? And you're not doing it with an electric car, okay? You're doing it with a D9 cab, right? So, and dump trucks, and and it's like, but they go, well, no, we want these electric batteries, but no, we don't want you to disturb the earth to dig it up. We just want it. So what do you mean? You want it? Well, how are you going to get this electric battery? Well, I just don't. I was a firm believer that if automobiles created this, put all this shit in the air, you should use the same vessel that created the problem to fix it. And the country, the world has a great opportunity to do that, but they're very short-sighted. So if I believe that the fuel cell is absolutely 1,000% the way to go. Nitrogen is most abundant uh, agent we have in the earth, and you don't have to dig the earth up for it. It comes out of the atmosphere, and you can get it anywhere, and you don't have to rely on Russia or China. And the byproduct of a fuel cell is oxygen and water.
Water, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard
So
to
why in the hell hasn't the government got behind, hey, if we had all these emissions put into the air for, through cars, why don't we use all these millions of cars to put oxygen back in the air and fix the environment? Electric isn't going to do it. I mean, I've heard all kinds of reports that like, an electric car, just having the life of one electric battery in one car, what it takes to create that battery and dispose of that toxic waste is the equivalent of a 3/4 ton diesel vehicle running for 80 years.
Wow.
And I absolutely believe it. I don't know if they don't show the mines where they get these 7 precious metals to build these batteries. They don't show you pictures of those. If you've ever flown over Nevada, Arizona, and looked at these mines, these copper mines, as a good example, I mean, they are huge, 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 huge holes in the earth, and it's the same with lithium, cobalt, nickel. Doesn't matter. I mean, you don't just, yeah,
Matt,
you
check this
can't dig
out.
it up with a shovel.
Matt, I literally just Googled lithium strip mine pictures just to show the market the car motivators webcast viewers. Look at these.
I'm not lying when I
Yeah,
say this.
yeah. I mean, did you see that,
And
Matt?
I don't,
Did you see
yeah,
that? Literally, I just Googled lithium strip mine pictures. Those used to be mountains, and now they're just holes in the earth.
yeah.
Massive
Yeah, so
holes.
Oregon doesn't want that on their southern border, but they want everyone to drive electric, and could you imagine putting one of those in California? Could you
Oh,
imagine
the
California
Californians
letting
would
that
love.
happen?
They would love that. No, they're like, hey, let the
Oh,
Missourians do that, or the Chinese people, or the Russian people. To your point, well, let's hope the government really figures out, and let's hope the current situation we're in with the chip shortage helps people, gives them the wisdom to not be so dependent on and maybe come up dependent on foreign, I guess you could say supplies or industry to develop what we need. And then, like you said, are there better alternatives that we could adopt here that would be cheaper and better for the environment, and we could still make the transition, right?